Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today, we're taking a look at another release from my favorite third-party figure maker, Mars Toys. This is Doc Time, aka Dr. Emmett Brown, based off his appearance for the majority of Back to the Future Part 2. And I've got the separate head sculpt as well that we'll use to upgrade our Hot Toys Doc Brown. Now, I got mine as a review sample from Mars Toys, organized by 1/6 Kit. I've popped a link to Kit's website in the description for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video, it's a review, all opinions, 100% my own. You're heading down to the description? Why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as brand new Back to the Future content goes live. You know, I've always wondered why third-party companies don't make Back to the Future stuff, because there's so many visually striking, interesting, iconic looks for iconic characters that official companies can't seem to be bothered giving us. Enter Mars Toys. They kicked off this line with Biff, now we've got Doc Brown, and there is more on the way. I'm very excited about that. As for the box art, this is the tin that the upgrade head sculpt comes in. Unfortunately, Australia Post had their way with it, so the box is completely trashed, but it's a metal tin, heaps of foam inside of it, so the head sculpt inside here is safe, thank goodness. The main box that the figure comes in, love the way this looks. DeLorean tail light, then the purple and blue vibe going on here works for Back to the Future. Doc Time down below, that gradient is awesome, and we've got this lightning bolt behind his name. This video is brought to you by JustinsCollection.shop, the home of the figure first aid kit, as well as other accessories to help your collection be the best it can be. The first aid kit contains multiple tools to help you with maintenance, styling rooted hair, and much more. We also sell crotch grabbers, soft rubber tips to prevent damage, and they're compatible with most modern Hot Toys base molds. Acrylic risers come in multi-packs, they're optically clear, thick and sturdy, and stackable. Check out the link to JustinsCollection.shop in the description. The Out of Time license plate on the side of the box as that image from the front cover spills over the edge. Around the back, they've kept it simple, really classy. 2 product shots of the figure himself, then at the bottom, warnings and legal information. And then the artwork on the slipcover looks great. The clouds parting for the hover converter DeLorean to land down in the town square, and we've got the Back to the Future 2 movie logo on some kind of floating futuristic billboard. Doc's coat up top, then the figure himself. First in-hand impressions for Mars Toys Doc Brown. The things that are jumping out at me right away, number 1, the proportions, number 2, how different the outfit is versus the Hot Toys one, and 3 head sculpts, 4 if you count the bonus. What we're going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. 3 head sculpts. Yes, these 2 are the same, one just has a hat on, but this one, with the mouth open, completely different expression. It's the same as the bonus head sculpt you can pick up separately, but 3 head sculpts. When do we get 3 head sculpts? Almost never. But Mars Toys, they spoil us with choice. All you need to know right now is, so far, I love every single one of them, and I cannot wait to try them out on the body. And we will, a little bit later. They've chucked in both versions of the newspaper, and the printing is high quality enough that you can read it. You'll just need to grab yourself a magnifying glass. From the scene where he meets himself, sculpted plastic wrench, quite shiny, and I love the sculpted teeth up top for that circular bit. And you can read the printing on the walkie-talkie. There's a label around the back, the orange button, the green body, real metal antenna with steps in it. It feels like it would be telescopic. It's a fixed piece, but the detail is there. And the binoculars, translucent plastic, you can actually see through them. Even around the back, frosted translucent plastic. These 2 sort of go together. We've got a chrome foil silver blast from the past bag for the sports almanac and the receipt for it. Translucent plastic, there's even some barcodes printed on there. I'll need to install the stickers on the case of emergency cash, but all of the notes are in there. You can remove them if you wanted. I highly suggest you don't do that because getting them back in there might be a bit of a challenge. I'll look up pictures to see where the stickers are supposed to go to make sure I do it screen accurately, but there's texture on the surface of these stickers and the printing. I've got no idea how they got the printing to look this good on a textured surface. Look, I was aiming for 100% movie accuracy. I got pretty close, but it ain't perfect. Also, Mars Toys only included 16 labels for the inside of the case. They forgot one. We needed 17. Versus the Hot Toys case, I never ended up putting the stickers on my Hot Toys one. I wish I had now, but shape and size-wise, they're very similar. It's just that the Hot Toys case has a lot more weathering on it. And lastly, a full array of hands, relaxed open palm ones. There's a decent level of skin texture, but I'm not sure about the shine on the skin. They're not the worst third-party hands I've seen. I've come across a lot shinier ones than these. Trigger finger hand for the right, prying the fingers open to maybe use this with the briefcase, relatively easy, and a semi-relaxed open palm hand for the left. Thumb curled back, relaxed open palm hand for the right. I like that wrinkling detail on the knuckles. And a pointing finger hand for the left. What we're going to do now is get Doc Brown himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Holy shit, this is good. Not just the head sculpts, not just the outfit, not just the proportions, everything. All rolled into one. It's not perfect. Couple of things for us to discuss, but for the most part, big picture things, they nailed. This, one of the few times where a third-party company is showing Hot Toys how it is done. Mars Toys, y'all deserve a round of applause because you're Doc Brown, and I know it's early on in the video, but he is sensational. Up close and personal, kicking things off with the best 1/6 scale Doc Brown head sculpt I've ever seen. Not just in terms of likeness, not just in terms of detail, but paint as well. This is the trifecta. Christopher Lloyd has never looked this good in 1/6 scale. The wrinkling, the frown lines, the freckles, the mole right there, the way the eyes have been sculpted and painted. There's so much life to this head sculpt. There's a subtle translucency to the plastic they've used to the skin that adds so much realism. Then the hairline is well painted and the hair is well sculpted. Yes, there's a seam over the top, but because of the busy sculpt work for the hair, it is not very noticeable at all. Then the wrinkling continues down to the neck. It's a single piece head sculpt. The 5 o'clock shadow is perfect. The bushy eyebrows. I could go on and on, but you can see this darn thing. It is a 10, a masterpiece of a Doc Brown sculpt. And remember this? This is the Hot Toys Doc Brown head sculpt. They thought it was so good, they would use it twice for Doc Brown from the first movie and the second. They didn't even remove the gaps in the hair for the glasses that weren't included with Doc Brown from the first movie. Mars Toys, they are showing Hot Toys how it is done. This is Doc Brown. This is a sorry attempt at giving us a Doc Brown sculpt. Like around the back, the jagged hair, how it casts a shadow on the neck, and it casts a shadow over his ears. Zero complaints with this head sculpt. Let's move on to the bonus one that you have to purchase separately. And it gets even better. Everything that I just said was great about the first head sculpt carries over to this one, but now we've got a vein up top, even more wrinkling. His mouth is open, his teeth are on display, his tongue is in there. There's a gloss finish to the inside of his mouth. This head sculpt I might even prefer to the other one, I'm not sure yet. And once again, this is what Hot Toys were going for. They couldn't get there. And no gaps in the hair. That was unforgivable. They couldn't even be bothered to fill in the gaps. It looks like the Hot Toys sculpt has no teeth. They're in there, but they're all the way tucked up underneath his top lip. So, like I said, it looks like he's got no teeth. We'll look at the two head sculpts with the hats on in a second. Spoiler alert, they're the same head sculpts, just wearing hats. Mars Toys, we do not deserve you. This Hot Toys Doc Brown has just been saved from a mediocre head sculpt with one of the best I have ever seen. And I know I've already said that, but it's now found its permanent home on this body in my collection. Same thing with this guy. I have upgraded two existing figures in my display with one Mars Toys release. It's not just a figure, it's also an upgrade kit. This head sculpt, number one, perfectly compatible with the body, and now better likeness, better sculpt, better paint applications, way more detail. It too has found its new permanent home. Okay, enough ranting about how good the head sculpts are for now, until we install the ones with the hats on. But the outfit. There's a lot of padding for the upper torso to fill him out, and I dig the fact that the shirt sits over the top of this waistband for the trousers. Makes it look slightly baggy. Something that not all of you may know is this shirt makes an appearance in the third movie. This print, it's faded, but it's on his bandana when he's wearing his cowboy outfit. Go back and look closely. It's a subtle Easter egg, but I like that attention to detail across the films. Faux buttons down the front, pressed studs underneath this flap, real pocket, and he's got a textured white shirt on with some weathering around the collar. There's a little bit of a skin tone mismatch between the forearms and the hands, nothing crazy, and he's got watches on to cover up the wrist pegs as well as create a separation between those two pieces. There's more of a shine on the forearms versus the hands. I may either swap out the hands or see if I can't add a matte coat over the top of those forearms. They've continued the padding down to the legs so he fills out the trousers. There's a decent contrast between this vibrant, colorful shirt up top and the plain cargo khaki colored trousers. Real metal buckle for the belt, stretchy elastic so you can adjust it. Working Velcro fly, pockets, more real pockets, more pockets, then some functional zippers at the bottom. The shoes or boots, a lot of sculpted leather grain texture, a little bit of wrinkling. The sculpt is deep enough that the washers have gone into the crevices and they're highlighting all of that sculpted detail. He's wearing some socks underneath the trousers, and is there sculpted tread? No, but the bottom of the shoes, they're weathered. He does come with a black jacket, and then the other two head sculpts with the hats on, they go with that jacket to complete the look. Let's try it out. Ooh, I'm tempted. With the hat and the jacket, the head sculpt, we already know how good it is, but now there's the additional hat, there's a lot of texture on it. I've said texture so many times already, but I mean, you can see it. Then the jacket is this velvety plush feeling material with some faux buttons down the front, real pockets, and wires along the bottom so you can shape it. There's some padding for the shoulders to bulk him out a little, and that does help with proportions. Onto the other sculpt. I just can't get enough of this Doc Brown. Seriously, I didn't think I would be this enamored, because this is not his most iconic outfit from Part 2. He wears it a lot in the movie, but you think Part 2 Doc Brown, you think the futuristic yellow long coat and the boots and the red shirt, the clear tie. This is not the outfit, for me at least, that immediately comes to mind. But now that I've got this figure, it very well might be. For those wondering, before we move on, yes, it's backwards compatible. If you'd like to go backwards by putting the Hot Toys head sculpt on the Mars Toys Doc Brown body, you can do that, but I do not recommend it. See, back to the Mars Toys head sculpt on the Mars Toys body. You may want to adjust the t-shirt. It tends to ride up. Just depends on how much or little of the Adam's apple and that wrinkling you'd like to see. Oh, we are living in a brave new world. For a quick side-by-side comparison, Hot Toys Doc Brown being shown how it's done by the third-party Mars Toys one. Now that I'm seeing this, scaling looks more accurate to me. Christopher Lloyd was not a short dude. Mars Toys is taller. The head sculpt is better. The proportions are solid. I am impatiently waiting for Mars Toys to release their version of the Yellow Jacket future outfit Doc Brown because I strongly believe it is going to destroy the Hot Toys release. This is maybe the most important comparison for this Mars Toys Doc Brown. Hot Toys Back to the Future Part 2 Marty. It's a shame that Hot Toys didn't spring for licensing for Mattel for the hoverboard, and Nike for the mags, and Pepsi for the bottle, but Mars Toys is working on their own version of Marty McFly in this outfit, and just like their Yellow Jacket Doc Brown, I cannot wait to see it. But for now, does the Hot Toys Marty work next to the Mars Toys Doc? Absolutely. Going over Doc Brown's articulation, starting off with his head sculpt. Ball joint at the base of the neck, looking forward to there, springs back a bit, going back to there, significantly further than forward, swivel, and tons of pivot side to side. Arms will go up to there at shoulders, going forward and back, butterfly joint that hinges up and down. Swivel at the elbow joint, single bend on ratchets, getting you to 90. Then for the wrist peg, it's a hinge and swivel nicely hidden by the watches on either side. Torso is padded, so crunching forward, limited to there, and it springs back, going back to there, further forward than back. Swivel and some pivot side to side. Padded legs will go forward to there. The padding ends right above the knees, going out to there. Swivel at the upper thigh. Double bend at the knee on ratchets, going past 90. Then a double ball peg for the ankles. Relatively high cut boots, but don't worry, that does not limit range. All the way forward. Swivel and tons of ankle tilt. Wrapping up on one of the best third-party figures I've ever seen. It feels, it looks, it works like an official release. 3 head sculpts, 4 if you get the bonus. You can then use them to upgrade your Hot Toys Doc Brown figures. That's a win. The proportions are spot on. They've padded him in all the right areas, and the padding doesn't really limit articulation a little, but this is Doc Brown. He's not going to be doing Spidey poses, more than enough range out of the joints for me. Multiple outfit options, scene-specific, super well-detailed accessories. The emergency cash case rivals the Hot Toys one. You can take the bills out for crying out loud. But at the end of this, if you were on the fence for some unknown reason, you'd never heard of Mars Toys and you were thinking, oh, maybe I should get this, yes. It's a must-have. This is now my favorite Doc Brown in the collection, and I've been able to upgrade my Hot Toys Doc Brown figures because of it. It's not just a release. I said this earlier. It's also an upgrade kit. Mars Toys, keep doing what you are doing because you are the best in the business right now, giving us Back to the Future and Batman 66 figures, plus Batman Returns and whatever the heck else you're working on. I can't wait to see what's next from y'all. Now, I received my Doc Brown and the extra head sculpt as review samples from Mars Toys, organized by 16kit. I've popped a link to Kit's website in the description. For your reference purposes only, this is by no means a promotional video. It's a review, all opinions, 100% my own. It just happened to be a stellar release. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.